Alright, hello everybody. So, I recorded this footage the other night. I wasn't able to record my microphone and I thought I'd just do a little voiceover. So here I'm just preparing up and setting up to build the main base that, I was planning the last episode to make this base that wraps around the lake. And in this episode I'm going to set up a little bit of the groundwork. I like to use dirt here. I like to use dirt as a foundational block just to see the shapes. It it really helps. I think I learned that trick. I know Scar, uh, Good Times with Scar. Oh my goodness, good. I know Good Times with Scar. I learned it from him, and I thought it was very creative because it just helps you see the shapes and how to visualize everything, and then you can add textures as you go. But um, I'm building shapes here, and the idea is like a block and then a narrow pathway to the next house. And then you're going to see a little later here that I'm building a huge long part of it near the back or to the left of this lake. But right now I'm just working on the main part. It has this little alleyway here and it's going to go to another little house. I plan on blocking most of the lake in by the castle. And it's going to be accessible through one of the houses, and there's going to be lily pads in there, so it'll be easy to harvest and it'll look pretty. Um, so yeah, that's what's going on. I've been trying to get some recording software. I've been doing this on my 2013 MacBook, and it's been kind of annoying. I'm using a screen capture, and I didn't realize until, after recording my second episode that you don't get sound. And on the first episode, all the sound you hear is coming from my speakers in through the microphone, which I thought was in-game audio. And I found this old version of OBS, came out in 2014, and it turned on, it worked, but for some reason I'm having trouble with the files that it spits out, and even when I put them through a converter, they don't want to work. Here I'm just breeding my chickens, making sure everything's growing. The pig on the other pen disappeared when I logged on. It was just a piece of pork just floating around, so I don't know what happened to him. So yeah, with OBS, it's not working at the moment, but that's fine. I'm going to continue searching, but at the moment I'm just going to stick with what works. I really want game audio to be in there because sometimes, it's hard to speak, and when you just hear my fan running and my beautiful microphone just pulling through, I don't think it's very nice to hear. So if you know of anything, please let me know. This room, I'm just setting out the frameworks of like how high the walls are going to be, and I usually like to do 3 high, and the doorways. I think in 1.6 I have very limited palette. I haven't really experimented too much with it, and I plan on doing so, but I'm used to building on much later versions of the game where there's all these different textures and colors, and you could really mess with the dimensions. Like I really like chains, and I like wall blocks because you can create these little divots in walls, but 1.6 is going to be much more rudimentary. I've really been inspired by Etho, and I think what he does is show how fun the game can be, and because his series is so long, you see it grow. But it's still, Etho still plays it the way he would back then, even with the new stuff. And I've been watching a lot of his old episodes to get an idea of what was fun in this version of Minecraft. I've read some of the patch notes, and looks like the Wither's already out, the Ender Dragon's already out. So I think there's going to be some fun farm making in the Nether. Oh, look at him. Oh, right back in. Silly boy. And I think it'll give a lot of, with the Wither and Ender Dragon, a lot of possibilities for farming and adventure. I'd love to build an Ender farm in the end, and I'd love to. I don't think I've ever fought a Wither in any survival world I've made, so it'll be a kind of like a lifelong achievement. Something I've never done, and I've been playing this game since 2010, 2011. I remember my brother played on the beta. I have an older brother, and um, he played the beta, and it was so different. It was really fun. Here I'm building the long part of the house. I'm going to cut it into two different sections. And the plan is to have a really long space where I'm going to put all my chests and all my storage. Maybe have a farm or some form of auto system that sends my farm things to the area. This is going to be my storage room. The first part is going to be a living space, artistic, whatever, but that long rectangle, ugly rectangle is going to be my storage room. I don't want it to be pretty, I just want it to work, because as you're going to see right now, my storage situation is really messy. I want to build some good crop farms that auto harvest. Like there's a button to auto harvest. I've done that before, and I would like to sort of make it all stream to one place. I've never done something that efficient, but I've been watching it, and I want to commit to it and do it. And yeah, I've really been enjoying playing on this world. Surprisingly, my computer can handle it. It moves fairly fast. Um, Although it's classic, it feels very fresh to me. I feel like a lot of the new Minecraft releases have been very jam-packed full of things that it has diluted the essence of the game to me. Like whenever a release would come out and I would start a new world with a new release, I felt like there was so much stuff. It was very daunting. Whereas I feel like in here, I don't really. In fact, I might be surprised and expect something that hasn't even been released yet, and I will take that with open arms. I like feeling more limited. I feel like it focuses you more. So I've really been enjoying playing on this world and reliving Minecraft in a way. Here I picked my cobblestone. I saw the shape, and I just want to see the textures with it. I'm just gonna go with good old cobblestone and oak wood. I'm gonna use the oak wood for the trim of the building, and I started with planks as the flooring. Sorry for the cut there. I just had to go get some food. Um, what to? I worked this morning, and I work very early shifts. Um, I wake up around 3:34. Snooze my alarm at 4:30. I should get up, and then by 4:45, I'm definitely up and out the door. And I work outside, and I live in a city, so sometimes you see the night people walking by, just weirdos, and you don't really question it. But this specific morning, the sun hadn't even come out yet, and I see this person walking by, and they're just a normal person. They look normal. They don't look like they want anything from you. They just a normal person walking. I was taken aback, and this girl just started waiting in front of this restaurant while I'm doing my thing outside, and I thought it was so strange. And then I'm doing my thing, moving pallets and whatnot. And then like 30 or so minutes later, this dude just rolls up the street, and he's just like, and he looks normal. He doesn't look crazy or anything. He looks normal. He just starts yelling at her, like yelling. And I'm sitting there like watching this, and I know they know I'm there because I make sound and like I'm so obviously there, and they're just yelling at each other, pointing. And the dude, as he's yelling at her, doesn't stop in front of her. He just like walks past her and continues yelling and pointing at her and just yelling obscenities. It was a very interesting experience, and yeah, I just wanted to share that because I just watched, I don't know, like a drive-by of yelling. That was very. I fast forwarded the footage a little bit here so you could see more of how the house is taking shape. Um, as you can see, I lost some chickens to my horrible system of a fence. Every time I break the block, they would try to get out. Um, I wanted to show you guys the trim that I do here. This is something I've done for a while. I know it's nothing special, but I like it. It gives the idea that the trim is truly just a really long log, two logs that just cross, and it creates a little bit of more dimensionality. I like it a lot. And as you see here, I'm just developing more the wall, and I feel like the wall is going to be taller than the building, or maybe they're all going to be equally height. I think the second house I was imagining more of a two-story situation, but my end goal is to have, like, in chess, the rook. It's like a tower with the ridges at the top. That's what I want the wall to be, like medieval tower, medieval wall, where archers are and whatnot. And the towers will have medieval tops, but I want to add the wood in there, so it creates a little bit more of. It's not just a gray slab. Um, yeah, finding things to talk about is tough. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how they could talk for so long. I have a hard time with it. There, I opened the door, and that's where I realized, okay, that's where I want the entrance to the sugarcane to be. So if you want to go harvest it, you can walk around the entire base. I'm going to put more doors eventually when I expand it, but for the moment being, this is going to be, if you want to do it through the base, this is going to be the way to get to the sugarcane, is that main house. Um, I cut it out, but I harvested all the sugarcane, and if you could hear the sounds, oh my goodness, your ears would be destroyed. I had to take my headphones out. I just ran and spam clicked, and also the chickens I killed because they got out. I got to make some arrows finally. I was watching my first episode, and there was a creeper in the ravine, and I only had two arrows, and it didn't kill it, and it made me. It really was not very satisfying. So now I'm cooking some sand. I'm gonna make some glass. I'm gonna develop the hallways. I know I said medieval, and usually medieval is just walls, but I want to put windows so when you're walking through these little transportation hallways, you get to see the outside. I think it'll be very scenic and not as claustrophobic. These windows are long, but it doesn't really bother me that it's the turning corners and stuff that I'm going to keep solid so I don't have to deal with corner windows and things like that, but I'm going to keep them solid so I can put some ornaments and stuff to liven the place up. Usually when the house is just windows, you can't really put a table or a chair or a painting. So I'm leaving space for those things later on in the house. I also like that when you're in the house, I like for the trimming to be shown so you get the feeling of the foundation. I know it's not real, but I think B00 hates building with materials that don't make sense, and I feel that so much. I feel like, putting sand at the top of my house doesn't make sense because in real life I would never have sand on top of my house. I know it's ridiculous, but I don't know, it keeps me invested in what I'm doing and what I'm seeing. Yeah, here I'm just finishing. I'm doing the walls. I don't think I started on the second house. I just wanted to do the first part, and once I did the window, I was very happy. And it's looking pretty good. I remember feeling happy with it. I fixed that. I definitely fixed that. Yeah, look at me. I fixed that. I did not like how it would just went into the wall like that. And to keep it even, I think I'm thinking there. Okay, yeah. And that's where I'm talking about the lily pads. You see, that's why I took them out. Um, I'm considering just putting lily pads, like spamming them all over the lake so you can just walk on water. But I'm thinking now it'll be a little ugly. I mean, the perimeter is a bit excessive already, but it's so useful that it doesn't really bother me. Like, I'd rather have it than take it off. Um, and eventually I might do a sugarcane farm, but I'm not going to worry about farms right now. I don't even have a proper storage system or even a house. Here I'm incorporating all the planks. It's going to be the ceiling and the floor for the next level, if I plan on doing the next level. Um, and it's a fairly basic color palette, but I think with the shapes I can make it interesting, at least on the outside. And there's a lot of adorning that you can do on the inside to make it a better experience. Just finishing it up. What I like about this is that you get to collect a lot of dirt, which allows you to build more frameworks. Using dirt is really helpful. I kind of regret only having one door, but I still think the house looks good. I'm not too upset about it. I think it looks pretty cute. I might make this one with just the roof. It'll just be the entrance, if anything. Here I'm just adding the floor so I get a good idea of what it feels like. This was really fun, and honestly, when I used to do this alone, it always felt like it took so long. And talking over this feels like it's really long, but it's only been, what does it say? 18 minutes. Which is honestly, in the grand scheme of things, nothing. Um, Now I see how some people can move so fast. Ooh, it's getting dark. Yeah, I sleep these days. I don't like fighting mobs. Um, yeah, honestly, it's not a big span of time, if anything whatsoever. Stealing the eggs. Let's see if I can't remember. Let's see if someone gets out. Ooh, he tried. Did you see that? I'm gonna throw the eggs back at him. Oh, he just grew up. How beautiful. Yeah, it doesn't take that much time to get something nice happening here. So, if anything, that's more encouraging. And I just put that pig out of his misery because I realize you can't make them with wheat, and I don't have carrots, so if he's alone, there's no use. I still haven't found cows, which I'm worried about. Although I did get a lot of leather from horses, but yeah, this is the build. I hope you guys like it so far. Sorry I can't do a proper outro, but thanks for watching, and I hope to see you soon on a new episode. Here I'm going to put down the final piece. Beautiful little door. I had to put the planks down there. I can't just make that dirt. Yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope to hear back from you soon. Bye.